Hello everyone, this is Rick Grantham of Small Business Champion. Today we're going to talk to you about estimating labor costs or estimating jobs and work estimates. Now, estimating labor with confidence can seem hopeless, especially for very large jobs. Now, the key to this is to break down those jobs into things that are manageable. You might not know we'll say an apartment complex. We'll say that you're a contractor for an apartment complex and you're estimating a job on that. It may be very difficult to see the overall work that needs to be done on that apartment complex and putting together an estimate that you feel confident in. However, you may be able to figure out what can be done in a week or what can be done in an hour. And so you break that down into really smaller segments. And then once you break that down into, say, what can be done in an hour, or as an example, how much does it take per square footage, if you're looking at an apartment complex, from there, it's just a calculator. It's a calculator and or a tape measure to be able to figure out how things expand all the way up to a larger portion of your job. So, in the template we're about to walk you through, in the next part of the tutorial, we're going to bring up our estimate template for you. We'll walk you through how to input your own numbers and how to calculate not only your rates, but to input your hours and to have something that you can present to your end customer. So, stay tuned for the next part of the tutorial. Hello everyone and welcome back to the template part of the tutorial for job estimation in the Small Business Champion bundle. First thing, when you pull up the template, the first thing that you're going to see is this welcome screen. Now, in the welcome screen, over on the left-hand side, the first thing you'll see are several opportunities to join the conversation. Really what that means is opportunities to interact with the community, either by downloading the free ebook that we have out there, or joining us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or any of the communities that we have out there. There's also opportunity to ask questions, so we have a fairly robust question and answer section in our community. So any of the links over here on the left-hand side will take you directly to those sites so that you can interact with the community immediately. To move a little further over to the right-hand side is our welcome message, further welcoming you to the community and also inviting you to join us in various social forums. But the way to interact with the template is if you go down to the bottom here, you'll see there's a tab for work estimates. So as you select that tab, you'll be brought to this screen. Now, as you scroll to the right-hand side of this screen, what you'll notice again within the template this time is an opportunity again to join the conversation. So as you're working with the template or as your office staff is working with the templates and they may have questions that come up related to how to input different things, you could always just click over here to the question and answer section or find us on LinkedIn, just reach out to us and ask us any questions you might have. We'd be happy to help out. As you scroll a little further to the left-hand side, you'll see instructions for the template, which walk you through sentence by sentence pretty much how to interact with the template, where you put your information and all of that. But you don't need to worry about that for this portion because we're going to walk you through that in this video tutorial. So, as you scroll over to the left-hand side, you'll see there's a few places here to input your company name and to input your company information. And in addition to that, in addition to your company information, here is also your customer information, a description of the work that you're doing. I find a lot of customers input into this area almost a paragraph description of the type of work that they're doing. A little further down is a line item by line item description of the work that's happening. And in this case, you can input also the number of hours and the dollars per hour or the currency per hour, depending on what part of the world that you're in. And all of those calculations will work for you. In addition, there's areas for your subtotal, your tax rates, etc., and all of your calculations here. So, first off, let's scroll up to the top and highlight the areas that your office staff or that you should interact with as you're using the template. So, first off, we'll come over here to the area that says Highlight Inputs. That's currently set to No. We get the drop-down menu here. And we can select that to yes. Now, once I select yes here from the drop-down menu, all the areas that we're going to want to interact with on the template will be highlighted blue for us so that we'll know which areas make the most sense for us to input our own data into. So we'll select yes, and you'll see several sections here highlighted blue. Now, at the end of all of this, if we wanted to make this available for printing and we didn't want to print out all of the blue, your office staff could very much at the end of this go back and reset this to no and use this for printing. But for now, we're going to interact with the templates. We'll select that to yes. We'll go up here and put our own company information. We'll say that you are ABC Corporation. We'll put in today's date. We'll just keep that where it is for now. You could put in your service provider. Here, the service provider, that's you. That's the person who's creating the estimate. So in this case, you might put in your name. We'll say Rick Grantham. That's me. ABC Corp, etc. Your address information, city, state, etc. Further over on the right-hand side, you can also put in your customer information. So this may be Andy Grambling, made up name. Company name may be ABC Tire Company, and your address, etc. Now, down here a little bit further, you can put in your project or your work description. This is where you put in paragraph type information on the type of work that's being done. So in this case, project work description, let's say that you're a painting company, and you'll say we are going to estimate provided for painting exterior and trim of home at, and we'll just make up an address, 1234 Main Street, with your type of paint, let's say, with exterior, so as an example. So the next part is to scroll down to the areas where you input the individual line items or the descriptions of what you're doing per hour for the work estimate. So in the template, first off, it'll say description 1, description 2, description 3, but you put in your own descriptions here based on your small business. And let's go with the example of a tire company. At this point, you may be balancing for tires, maybe doing an oil check, and let's say those are the two items that you're doing here. So we'll delete the rest of the highlighted items, hit the delete button, calculations automatically update, and here we may have 1 hour, we'll check 0.5 hours, and it's maybe, we'll say $60 an hour, we'll check maybe $45 an hour, as an example. So here you would have a total where your calculations are already being done down at the bottom. Your subtotal would be in $82 for this portion of the work. Now, you'll see that the tax rate here is highlighted blue as well. So your tax rate may not be 7%, which is the default here. Your tax rate for your area may be, let's say, 7.50% as an example. When you put 7.5, the taxes will automatically update. You'll see there's also a section here for other, and so realize that this other piece is done after tax, so after the taxes are already applied. Here your other may be an additional, I don't know, we'll say $50 for some other item. And you have the option over here in the additional notes and comments to input what that other area is for. As you scroll down a little bit further, what you'll also notice is there's an opportunity to input the authorized by, or to have printed this off at the very end and to have signed that if you chose to sign who this is authorized by. And of course all the buyer contact details. Now realize if you're getting this ready for printing now, what you can do is take the highlight inputs up here at the top, switch that to no. Try that one more time. Switch that to no, and now everything is, all the blue highlights are gone, and you're able to just print this off and be able to provide this to your customers. Now, one other option though is to provide this to your provide this to people that you might have out in the fields as a blank template, so that as they're interacting with your customers, they can create these work estimates on the fly. And here's a way to do that. You can still fill out your service provider information and type all of that in, but the customer information, you could very well leave that blank. Just delete that out. The same thing with the work description. That could very well be deleted and blanked out, along with the descriptions down here, and blank a lot of this information out as well. Doing so, what you're doing now is providing, you can print this off, and what you're doing is providing a blank template and we'll delete out the other area as well, right? So what you're doing now is providing a blank template, where you could have several of these, 50 of these on a clipboard, so that people out in the field or you, when you're interacting with customers, can create work estimates on the fly. So all of this, once you hit the print button, it's already formatted completely for printing and ready for you to go. So this is the work estimate or the job estimate section of the Small Business Champion bundle. Until next time, be a champion.